here. Okay, can we get some volume on that maybe? Let's see. A little volume on the, do you hear anything? Oh, wait, whoa. That's it. Okay, let me see, maybe I need to, okay. That's all the way up. Okay, it looks like I'm getting very little sound. Okay, you're working on it? Okay, so this, all right, we're going to get a little more sound. Let's just leave it. So this demo is showing the rocket sled. Now, I told you that we're good for physics, right? And it's really, really hard to describe what physics is. But it's a full body simulation that happens inside of our car. So we asked the demo team to give us a way to show physics, and that's what they came up with. That rocket sled is not animated. As a matter of fact, in this demo that you're about to see, nothing is animated except the guy's face when he kind of looks around the eyeball. That's all animated. But everything else is simulated. That means if you look, right now, this little thing is kind of vibrating just a little bit. You see his little thing jiggling there? This is an entire physics model. But to a lot of people, just talking about and saying this is a physics model doesn't mean anything. So we asked it to make them show it to us. So what this is not just a lot of lines. This is actually the physics model. So there's levers, and there's springs, and there's torque, and there's acceleration, there's velocity. As a matter of fact, when the model moves, and things break and gears fly off, this physics representation changes, okay? So you all with me? Everybody know what physics is? M equals MA, all that good stuff. Apples, you with me? All right, apples, yeah. Apple. So I'm gonna show you what this does, okay? Now, basically, the first thing I wanna do is turn on one more bit of information here. Oh, I can't get to it, bummer. I'm not gonna show it to you. But if I accelerate, you see everything start to jiggle and it all kind of coming up off of its track, and eventually it kind of starts down the track, right? That whole calculation of what does it do, how does it rock, and eventually take off down the track, that's all modeled in real time, running physics inside of GFL9. Okay, so that's physics. Let me turn off that model, and I'm going to show you what this thing does, okay? So, it does have sound, but I'll just talk to it. I'm going to just take off like a bat out of hell down this track, and we'll see what happens.
Remember physics. Do it! Fire it up!
Of course, if I go too fast, stuff starts falling off. Oh, I didn't go fast. Wait a second. We're going to do it again. Here we go. Running down the track. This whole track, by the way, is tessellated. So there's geometry that's getting created as we go by. And there's a house blowing up. That was all physics, right? That rock falls. The bridge coming up blows up. That's all physics. Right? His face is, he's jiggling around there. That's all physics. Okay, and as I fly past where I'm supposed to, that's all physics, okay? And I can eject, and that's all physics, right? That's a ragdoll simulation, okay? So if you think about it, there is so much cool stuff happening in this demo, I can hardly contain myself. So let me start off by saying we have also built in something called a gun, right? You've heard of guns. I don't know what that is. It's like a bad angle. Yeah, I got it grab here. So if I hit G, I can smack this thing with chickens, right? And let me come forward a little bit. Okay, now if I zoom in and I smack this little guy right here, oops, I'll go and smack that. There you go, we just busted up the thing a little bit. The chickens are not real, so nothing horrible happening to chickens.
That's how he doesn't say the driver.
Okay. So what I'm doing, I broke that, okay? So whatever happens is not pre-rendered, right? It's just whatever the simulation happens to do. So let's hit a couple rock boosters. All of that breakage, all of that destruction, guess what? Physics, thank you. Who said physics? Who said physics? Right there? That's I have that sweatshirt. It's awesome. No, you cannot cook the chickens. As a matter of fact, there's no blood at all. Sorry, there's no blood at all in this. Yeah. As a matter of fact, if a game has blood in it, it can't go to some parts of Europe. So since our game is going to go around the world, no blood. All right.
Question.
So let's do one more thing.
Question for you.
This game I mentioned works with physics. It also works in stereo. So if you come over to our booth, hopefully we'll have it hooked up with stereo. It's really exciting. Let me show you one more thing and then we'll move on. I've got a pause function here. So I like to look at the house because that's when you start to get a sense of what's happening with physics, right? It is all the boards, all the debris, all the destruction is rendered using physics. Now some of this physics is running on your CPU, and some of the physics is running on your GPU. So physics is not just for GPUs, it actually works on your CPU, but it runs a lot faster and a lot better on your GPU. Okay, I think that's it for that. We're going to move on. Back to the slides.
Quick question.
Yes. Yes. Yep. Okay. Do I have a comment on that? Okay, the question, I think your question is that you've heard a lot about physics, you think it's the best technology ever invented, and you're just stunned and excited to be here. And NVIDIA is the best company in the world, and you're curious if there's going to be dedicated hardware on boards or in GPUs for physics, or is it just using the generic CUDA? So physics today runs using our generic GPU, which is taking advantage of the CUDA core. So it's not actually special dedicated hardware, it's just lots of floating point, and that runs really well on the GPU. Okay, let's give away some stuff.
One more question. It's a really fast one. Really fast question. On the exhaust, on the physics demo, was that a pre-rendered sprite or was it real time?
It is actually calculated, so that is not a pre-rendered sprite. The exhaust is a fluid simulation. So it's a real...
That's more applause.
So, any of you guys who are game developers or general coders, software guys, you should know that this is not easy. And a fluid, as a matter of fact, gosh, I'll show you the fluid simulation if you come up. I can actually have a special mode to just show you fluids. All right, let's continue. There. So you can tell that it's going to be fantastic physics performance. We have something called a giga scheduler. A giga thread hardware scheduler. That's what allows us to do context swapping between graphics and physics and CUDA all on one GPU more efficiently. So now our pipe gets to be full, our performance goes way, way up. That's what it's all about. Okay, I did the physics demo. Now I'm going to tell you about Dark Void. It's got all these physics effects. It's got the shooter thing. It's really quite a cool thing to look at. Last topic is 3D Vision Surround. Now, yeah. Have you all tried it? Have you guys gone over there and tried it? It is really, it just makes you go, wow, that's amazing. We have a racing game up there. We've got Avatar, a couple other games. 3D is going to be really, really big.